Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer to the channel. WB here, and in this video what I want to do is show you how you can use Intune to manage your Windows 365 Cloud PCs. As always, I ask if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, like, share, comments are always welcome, and check out the description below for a link to our community Discord server so that we can continue this discussion after the video ends. Alright everybody, let's dive in. All right, everybody, here we are on my Windows desktop, and if you want to manage your cloud PCs, there are a few things that I do want you to keep in mind. We will be here in the Microsoft Intune Admin Center, but you do want to make sure that you have your license assignments appropriate, right? That's part of managing your cloud PC. So if you go to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you can select the user in question. Remember, this is where you can do your licensing assignments. All right, and if we look here, my account has been assigned the Windows 365 Business to virtual CPUs, 8 gigs, 128 gig machine, right? So we know that the license assignment is good. Another thing I want you to keep in mind too is that when it comes to managing your cloud PCs, a lot of times we think about the fact that we can see our devices inside of Microsoft Entra, right? If we talk about Entra join devices, right? And sometimes we have the ability to manage them. I want to show you here. We're logged into the Intune Admin Center, and specifically Entra ID, and we're going to go to devices, right? And then we're going to select all devices here. All right, and you can see again the variety of the devices that are here, right? And if I, select one of these, right, I may or may not have the ability to manage some of them. Let me see here. Some of these are stale devices that are no longer here. Windows 11, yeah. So again, sometimes you have the moderate amount of management that you can do on these devices. However, I have Cloud PC set up to enroll in Microsoft Intune as a part of an autopilot deployment, right? So what I want you to be aware of is that when you select these devices here, it will give you this warning. This device is a Windows Autopilot device. Devices deployed with Windows Autopilot cannot be deleted in Microsoft Intune Admin Center. Learn more about this, managing these devices if you want to click that link, right? So we manage those devices inside of the Microsoft Intune Admin Center. I did want you to notice another thing too. If you notice something about the characteristics of that device, you can see these are your autopilot devices. This session host is actually, it has been autopiloted into Microsoft Intune, but it was part of my Azure virtual desktop deployment. So it is also here. It's been onboarded into Microsoft Intune. And here, if we click our Cloud PC, once we locate it, right, I want you to keep in mind that we cannot manage it from here. We have to come over to Microsoft Intune Admin Center. Then you'll notice when we go to our devices, again, we'll go to Windows devices in this aspect, right? And it doesn't look, and that's why I kind of focused on the icon, because notice you don't really get the icon here, right? You'll just have to be aware that is an autopilot device. And again, one of the reasons I kind of focus in on that icon is because a little easier to tell here inside of the Intune Admin Center. All right, so now let's go ahead. I know that was a I just want you to be aware of where you can manage these devices and some of the limitations. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the things that we can do with our Cloud PC to manage it. And there are a variety of different things. Now I do have a video up on the channel that you can look for performing remote actions on devices, right? So the same thing here. So I won't rehash this one. Just keep in mind some of the things that you can do, including collecting diagnostics if you want as part of the management of your Cloud PC. But again, we did cover that in another video. However, what I do want to do is just kind of look at some of the things here that we can do inside of managing our Cloud PC, amongst other things, the remote right, the remote actions that we can perform here, right? Now, depending on your permissions, I don't know if I have the permissions in my account here to see the performance. That's okay. I'm not worried about that right now, because what I do want to show you is the ability to look at the hardware, right? And notice that I can see the ID, right? I can see the serial number of the device, right? The enrollment profile here as well. We can see what the operating system is that's being run. I can tell that this is a Windows 11 edition. One of the ways you can tell Windows 10 is 10.0.1. Check out the video in the library for dynamic group membership. We talk a little bit about that that system version, right? We can also see the storage, which will give us, and as well as the memory, right? This might give us an indication of what the performance levels are, right? We can see the model, so 2 virtual CPUs. Keep in mind, this is one of the things that when you are deploying your cloud PCs, you want to do a user requirement assessment so that you do provision the right capabilities, right? We can see the processor architecture here, right? Network details too. Right, so you can see a little bit of information about this too. Now, some additional things that we can do too, right? For instance, we can look at things like device compliance, and I think there's a default compliance policy on this that always errors out. Yeah, so that's not really going to cause any access issues, But I've got that on a couple of devices where the stated just errors out there, but it's not really causing any issues here. But then we have the device configuration that we could potentially see information, right? So we look in here and notice that we've got a variety of different policies that are applying to this cloud PC. We've got several endpoint security policies. We've got a settings catalog here and device configuration profile, right? And then we've got some ABD device restrictions that are going on here likewise too. We can also look at one of the things I really like about this is the user experience, right? Remember, you want to make sure that we have a decent user experience when you provision your cloud PCs, right? Again, keep in mind that we do have a lesson on provisioning your cloud PCs there and enrolling them inside of Microsoft Intune. But if we choose user experience here, it gives us the ability to do exactly what it sounds like, right? Notice our startup performance, right? We can get what are the, what's the score here, work from anywhere, because it is a cloud-based implementation that can be accessed from a web browser. It gives us the ability to work from anywhere. What's the resource performance? We don't have any battery health on this too because it's a virtual machine. And again, we can see the model, right? And the manufacturer we know is the Microsoft Corporation. We can also get some user experience around things like startup performance, right? Startup performance, it doesn't look like the greatest here, right? And it does say that here that device is about 90% of the commercial devices, right? And you can kind of see some sign-in history behind it, right? So we get some basic startup performance information. We also get some resource performance information too here. Right? Is it meeting our goals, right? And we can see CPU's spike time score, right? So we can get some additional attributes of our cloud PC that we can utilize as well. We've already looked at kind of the overview of the work for anywhere, right? What capabilities does it allow? Cloud identity, cloud management, cloud provision. So yes, right? All three of those are in the name. It's called Cloud PC for a reason, right? And then Windows, of course. Right, given the ability to keep working in a up-to-date environment, right? And then battery health isn't going to give us anything. I hope not. I hope they're abstracting the battery. I didn't ask the Microsoft Corp when we provisioned this cloud PC if they'd make sure that they plug it into the wall. Right, so there we have, again, some of the ways that you can kind of manage your PC, your cloud PCs, right? Another one, too, is device diagnostics. Now, this is going to actually have a completed diagnostics in it. However, If you want to do this, this is part of those remote actions. When we go back up to the overview blade, notice there's the collect diagnostics. Again, I'm not going to go ahead and generate. It takes a little bit to launch it, right? You can even see that I've launched into remote help sessions as well too. But once you've run that diagnostics, device diagnostics, you'll see the reports show up here. You'll see that the status is complete, and then you can come over here to the little 3 dots, right, the little ellipsis, and you can choose download. Let me go ahead, I'll navigate to my downloads directory here, and you'll see there is this zipped folder, right, diagnostics log, and we can see CPC, and then my username, right, and you can see essentially the name of the computer. Now, if we go ahead, right-click on this, and we choose, oops, I don't want to add that to the favorites, but it's there now anyways. But if I decide that, let me go ahead and refresh this here real quick, navigate over here. Looks like it hung up a little bit. Let's right click on this and let's go ahead and choose extract all, and we'll extract everything here. So there's a lot of information here, but I'm not logged in as an organizational user. So you'll see that there's a lot, some of them don't have any information in them, but even the ones that do have information, they may contain information that I can see, they may not contain information that I can see. So for instance, if we go into the Windows update logs, or maybe we go into the diagnostic log here, right, we might be able to see information, we might not be able to see information. So let's go ahead and we'll right click on this, we'll choose edit with notepad, see if it launches it up. All right, so I can see some information about here, right, and we can utilize, notice it says hypervisor. Okay, so no different than running your MS Info, so MS Info 32 on your local machine, right, would output this. So this would be like exporting that information to the log. So well, that's good. We could see that. Another event log here that we can see, and we can kind of see what's going on in the background. But some of these, you won't, it'll look like they're going to load, and it does load them. But then, well, unfortunately, when you go to see the information, there isn't much detail. So you can right click on your start icon, choose event viewer, get my start menu out of there. And we can go to action here at the top, choose open save log, right? We can go back to our downloads directory where that is. And again, you have some different locations that you can go to. So for instance, you got the EVNT. This allows you those, let me hover to discover here, right? That's, you notice that EVTX there, right? That's going to contain those event viewer logs here that we can load up. And I'll show you that they actually contain some data, right? This remote desktop services log is pretty large, right? And you can see, but when you launch some of them up, again, let's go ahead, let's load them in. You're going to see potentially some of them that won't show you any information, right? Even though it'll potentially say that there's information in the log, right? This one we do seem to have some access to, so right, we could use this to further manage and diagnose any issues that might go along with our Cloud PC as well. If I switch over to one of the other logs here, let's see, so it doesn't say no events there, switch over to there. Partial results here, let's see, and no, nothing in there, and I don't know that this one, yeah. So again, depending on the type of log will dictate what you can see. It looks like we can see those just fine. Let me see if we, tell you what we'll do, we'll open another save log. Let's go back to event viewer. We'll open another save log here. We're going to get out of the event viewer. Let's go back to ETL. And we'll extract one of these. It's going to want to convert it. We'll let it convert it over. It'll convert it to this, and we're going to update it. It was giving me some hard time earlier there. So notice here that we do have some informational level events, right? But it isn't giving me anything, right? It isn't telling me. In fact, even if I filter, right, I can see that there might be some critical warning and errors going on in here. But it really doesn't tell me, right? If I select it, I don't get any information in the details, right? So I get an error code, right? But I don't get really much other information than that, other than the time. So I do want to say that depending on which which log you're looking at. You may have information in there, you may not have information in there. But that's just another one of those ways where you can use Microsoft Intune to manage your cloud PCs. As always, I ask if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, like, share. Comments are always welcome, and I encourage you to check out the description for a link to our community Discord server so that you and I can continue this discussion after the video ends. Thank you for watching.